Hello everybody, it's me Candor and welcome back. If anyone has been waiting for a new video from me, well, here it is. This was not the video I had intended to release, but circumstances beyond my control have doomed my last video. When that one does finally come out, you will know why it took so long. However, like a strange miracle, another opportunity came at me, allowing me to make this video. Now, as some of you may know, a while back I made a video on an angle finder made by Lexibon, and it turned out to be one of the top videos I've made. Apparently, that video was found by a company that I have never heard of before, and they reached out to me and asked if I would be kind enough to review their angle finder. Now, the name of the company is Giosio. I'm not sure if I'm saying this name correctly. And from what I've been told, they originally started out selling cell phone cases and other cell phone accessories, as well as some jewelry making supplies and some other small things like that. They want to try and diversify and change the product line that they offer and have started to offer small hand tools and such. The current product line of tools so far is, at the time of this video, only the angle finder, but I've been told that they are going to be offering other products sometime soon as well. Somehow they managed to stumble across my humble little YouTube channel and thought I did a nice enough job on the Lexibon angle finder, so they contacted me to showcase theirs. Giosio seems to be a Chinese reseller, so as far as I can tell, they don't make the actual product. The device itself is branded with the company name, so I can only assume that the unit is branded by another company for them, but by whom I have no clue. The angle finder came in this rather unassumingly perfectly sized cardboard box, and it has a bubble wrap sleeve. And it has a small but surprisingly decent manual for its size. It's quite useful, it's printed in color, the pictures are clear, well defined, and easy to understand. And it also comes with a handy guide showing you how to cut your crown molding using a compound miter saw. The angle finder appears to be solidly built, it doesn't feel cheap in the hand, has no flex, and the flat surfaces appear to be well machined and smooth. Now, I did notice that when I got this out of the box, it was difficult to move as it was so tight. Turning it over, you can see that they use 2 screws to secure it together, whereas the Lexibon has only 1 screw. Now, I don't see the advantage of the 2 screws versus the 1, but the design works, and given how hard I had to pry it open the first time, it seems to work pretty well. If you find it too tight or loose, all you need to do is adjust the screws on the back. You either tighten or loosen them until you find it comfortable to open and close. Now, the markings seem to be laser etched, and they're not printed on, so the marks should be durable and not rub off anytime soon. Now, compared to the Lexibon one, the Giosio seems to have slightly brighter markings. From the images here, it appears that this is because the Giosio has etched away the entire number, whereas the Lexibon only etches the outer edges of the numbers. Strangely, I find the Lexibon version easier to read and a little bit crisper, where the Giosio seems to be ever so slightly blurry. But that is just my personal opinion. I have no issue whatsoever in reading either one of these devices, so it basically is just a personal preference on my behalf. Now, it isn't my intent to compare the Giosio against the Lexibon, but it is the only other one that I have to compare it to, so I will try and keep the comparisons to a minimum. The first to notice is that it is of similar design to the Lexibon. They have about the same weight and size, but the Giosio has two additional functions. First, it has ruler markings in both imperial and metric. And while they only measure about 5 inches or 13 centimeters, it still has practical uses in measuring smaller items, such as electrical box openings, screw or nail lengths, molding thicknesses, etc. The next difference is the addition of the two spirit levels. We have a straight level and we have a bubble level. Now the first one is a standard bubble level and is called a tubular spirit level. And it's a typical design that most of us have used in the past, but it is a nice addition as it allows you to use it just like a standard straight level that I'm sure so many of us have used in the past. This is useful for hanging pictures and checking to see if that shelf you just put up is flat and level. The second circular level is also known as a bullseye spirit level, and it allows you to find the levelness of a flat surface in a 360-degree circle, unlike a tubular level which only measures in one direction at a time. This is similar to what you would find on a good camera tripod similar to mine. The major advantages of a bullseye level is that it allows you to quickly see and adjust the levelness in more than one direction at a time. As you can see here in this clip, it will quickly tell you if your surface is tilted up, down, or side to side, so you can adjust the surface to your desired angle. The levels will not show you an angle. It will only show you if you are or are not level in any given direction. When the bubble sits in the middle of the markings, you are level. As for how to use this device, I am only going to go over the basics behind how to use this, since I have already done a video on how to use an angle finder of this type. I will leave a link in the description below to my older video if you want to see one in more detail. For now, I'm simply going to explain the basic functions on how to use this. Now the first thing you need to do is identify the crown molding type. Are you using 45-45 or 38-52? Now what this means is that on a 45-45, the top and the bottom edges are cut to 45 degrees. Whereas at a 38-52, one edge will be 32 degrees, one edge will be 58. 45 and 45 equals 90, 38-52 equals 90. Then all you need to do is use the angle finder to measure either the inside or outside corner and read the number of the indicator off the dial. The outside dial is used for finding the actual angle that you are measuring. The inside dial will tell you the angle that needs to be cut to make the two pieces fit together. Now, for simplicity, we will assume a corner angle of 90 degrees and a standard 45-45 molding. Now, in the manual, you find the column with your style of molding. The most common is 45-45. Then, find the angle that matches the indicator on the inner dial. It should read 45 degrees. The manual will tell you that for this type of cut, you need to set your miter angle to 35.3 degrees and your bevel angle to 30 degrees. Change the saw to face in the other direction using the same angles and make your other cut. When placed together, you should have a perfectly 90-degree angle with a nicely mated corner. Now the advantage to this system is that you can lay your pieces flat and cut them. So in other words, you don't have to have them resting on the fence or the base at a small angle on one of these small edges, which isn't very sturdy, and can cause it to slip and make your cuts less precise. Using this method, you simply place it down flat, make your cuts, and when you've done it right, you get a perfectly mitered 90-degree corner ready to go. Now, if you don't have a tool like this, then most people might have assumed that you can just cut your crown molding at a 45 degrees, just like you might with base molding or making a picture frame or even a box. Doing this will result in something like this. That's why you not only need to know the proper angle, you also need to know the blade bevel. Otherwise, you will quickly learn it results in a waste of material. Now for the pros and cons. On the plus side, it does seem to be a solidly constructed tool. There's no slip or slop, and the dial will stay where you put it. It's easy to read and has several added functions as well. The price, in my opinion, is moderately priced. Myself personally, I prefer it to be a tiny bit cheaper, but it isn't outside the normal price range that you would expect to pay. I believe the going rate is about $25 or $26 for this. As for the cons, I can only find one. To be fair, I have no idea if the issue I ran into is a one-time thing or if I managed to find a manufacturer defect. Regardless, I have informed Giosio of this, and they are looking into it with their supplier to determine what the issue is. My issue is that I found it to be ever so slightly off in its readings. I suspect if there is a problem, it would be something that can be addressed fairly easily, and there could be a million different reasons as to why mine is off by a little bit. Now mind you, this isn't being sold as a professional quality super accurate device. This is an entry-level tool designed for the average homeowner or anyone that may only have a one-time need to do crown molding and just wants to try it doing it themselves without spending too much on a tool used infrequently. I still think the results would be adequate for the average DIY person, but more accuracy is always a plus. Now, as always, if you like what you see here and want to see more, then please consider hitting the subscribe button and don't forget to click the bell to be notified when a new video comes out. Thank you to Giosio for giving me the opportunity to review their angle finder. I appreciate them reaching out to me and giving me the chance to show you and all future viewers something they may find useful. So again, until next time, be good, stay safe, and I'll see you all in the next video. Thanks everyone. Bye.